Hello and welcome. If you're new here, I want to welcome you to the collective. And if you're returning, I'm hoping you're having a much better day than the last time that we talked. In my readings, I like to intermingle a bit of shadow work, a bit of intuitive message, along with my tarot and oracle cards. The goal is to help you know yourself, find yourself, and heal yourself one step at a time, and that way you can go through your own personal transformation and journey with a little bit of guidance. So today we are focusing on what it is that your shadow wants to tell you, what your shadow wants you to hear. The shadow is the part of you that loves you unconditionally and just wants to see you happy. You just happen to be more aware of it in the negative moments because that's when your shadows yelled, "I've had enough. I need you to listen." But it's there to help celebrate your wins and, love you all the same. So what is it that we need to know, or our shadow wants us to know in this reading? Got a few cards sticking out. Those on too. Alright, we're doing the 3 cards. First card, defense mechanisms. Soothe uncomfortable situations or thoughts. So this is that reminder that defense mechanisms, while they might have been necessary at one point, are outdated and unnecessary now. Defense mechanisms are something that we keep in place to help us in the moment to survive, and it becomes habit and it becomes part of our personality long after it is necessary and needed. Most defense mechanisms started when you were a child or in your teenage years or even young adult years, and now it's time to look at them to see if they are still helping you or if they're just putting a wall between you and everybody else. And you're gonna be like, Kirsten, the wall's the point. I want the wall. But it's one of those things where, are you keeping the people that you want in out? Are you purposely, keeping it out, the people out that are just specific that need to be out? Or are these defense mechanisms affecting everyone? This is something that you're going to have to actually take some time and think about, to reflect on how your defense mechanisms affect your relationships. But if this card is coming up, it's Shadow's way of saying the defense mechanisms are old and outdated, and it's time to let go. Resilience. Centered through harmony and chaos. So yes, you are going through something right now. You're going through... It's not a dark night of soul, I'm not feeling that. But I'm feeling like it's one of those where this is a struggle, and like the struggle that you're going through has been going on for a little while. Not, just a day or two, but like weeks to a month. And it feels like, you keep going over the same pattern or the same thing over and over and over again, and you're just like, why does this keep happening? How is this the same cycle? What is it that I'm not, paying attention to? And resilience is that card that reminds you that while yes, it's important to allow yourself to look outside the box and to find different solutions, some part of you is also just going through this so that way you gain strength in whatever that skill that you need to learn is. It's not what you want to hear, trust me, but the truth of it is, just like anything, when you're setting new boundaries, when you are working to change your life, when you are, trying to create new habits and new thought patterns and new behavioral, routines, you have to keep building the skill over and over again. Just like, if you want to lift 100 pounds, you have to start at small weights and work your way up to that 100 pounds. This is one of those things where you're not on repeat, you're not making mistakes, you're not failing. It's just right now you need to keep putting the reps in. You need to keep doing it to the point of where it gets easy. And this is the universe's only way of knowing and understanding of how to help you build strength in that particular part. Oh, hey, endings. A natural progression for expansion of the soul. So yes, what you're going through is an ending. What you're going through is going to come to an end. What you're going through is not a permanent state. It is just a temporary state, and you are near the end. I have to say that this is the first time I've gotten this card in an online reading, so understand that when this says endings, it literally means that, you know, you're near the end. And I love this card because I always talk about, specifically with the star card, how when you know, try to make a change or you work to make a change, how you get to like the middle. In the middle, it's dark on both sides, and you have to decide whether or not you're going to go back to the way you came or continue to move forward. Well, this tells me that you move forward and that you are finding the light at the end of the tunnel. So that is absolutely beautiful, and I'm happy to see that for you. But just understand that while, yes, the light at the end of the tunnel is still there, you still have to continue to do the work. You still have to continue to push through the discomfort. You still need to, you know, check to see if maybe the last few things that are keeping you going through this are unnecessary defense mechanisms. And understand that while, yes, you do need to continuously put your boundaries and barriers in place and you need to respect that, it's also important to understand and just look at, is there something that I'm doing that is also causing a hindrance to this? So back to that like lifting weights metaphor that I was using earlier. Okay, so you're, you know, trying to lift up to 100 pounds, but the weights that you always use are only 50-pound weights. You never actually get up to anything higher than that. You're just doing reps on 50-pound weights. And the defense mechanisms that you're using are saying, no, this is enough, this is all I need. And really what you need to do is you need to let go of some of those defense mechanisms, and that will add on the extra weights that get you closer to the 100 pounds. So now I want to ask the tarot cards what it is that is like keeping us in a space where we feel like what we're doing isn't worth it. And you're gonna be like, Kirsten, you literally said it. It's because the same thing keeps happening over and over again. I get that, but still, it's one of those things where, why aren't we seeing our growth? Like, what is keeping us from seeing our growth? What is keeping us from being able to understand that, yes, we are making a difference, that we are changing, that we are getting stronger? So let's ask the cards, because this is the one that flew. So the first one I have is the High Priestess. So that's all about you listening to your intuition. That's about you going internal and following non-logic, because logic is not what's gonna like serve your purpose here. A lot of times when the High Priestess comes up, it's often a signifier or a notifier that a possible detour is going to be coming up. It's not that you need to pivot and change your goal. It's just understand that what you're being asked to do is not going to make sense, but it's important for you, because this is about trusting your intuition. Everyone has intuition. Intuition is also one of those things that you have to build up, though, repeatedly over time, in order for it to, you know, feel more solidified, in order for it to feel like, you know, you can fully trust it. So the High Priestess is here telling you, yes, you need to go internal, and all the answers are already inside of you. Then we have the Ten of Wands. Tens are all about completion and ending. So if you needed more confirmation about that ending, here it is. Because with the Ten of Wands here, it's showing me that you have been carrying so much on your shoulders. You have been carrying so much weight. You've been doing so much. And maybe at one time it was all necessary. Maybe at one point, yes, it was 100% irresponsibility to carry all 10 of those wands. But now, how can you reprioritize? How can you put down 2 wands today and then pick them back up tomorrow? What is it that you need to understand that is not serving you? Again, these defense mechanisms, it's what is it that's holding you back, that's no longer serving you? Is it a habit? Is it like a behavioral pattern? Is it a thought process? There is something that you can stop doing every day and start doing only every other day. I don't know what it is, but I know when I see the Ten of Wands, it shows perseverance. It shows that you have resilience. It shows that you've been doing the work. And now it's time for you to understand that you need to start putting these wands down, because it's not your obligation to do all these things anymore. And maybe before I get to the next card, what do you need to delegate? That just popped up. What can you delegate? What can you assign to others? What can you have others do that are working with you? Consider that too, because that came up before I got to this card. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups here is coming in and saying that you have the ability to express yourself, to communicate, to talk about your emotions, to nurture, to grow, to love. I don't care if you're male or female, the Queen of Cups is coming as the divine feminine of the heart space. So this is telling me that you know how to create, how to express, and how to utilize this energy to make something beautiful out of it. And I'm not saying that right now that, all this is happening for a beautiful reason. What I'm saying is you know already how to turn and transmute things into active expression, into, a story, a poem, a painting. Maybe your thing to go to is baking, so a cake or some type of food. Like, you already know what it is that makes you happy and brings you joy. So during this time, don't forget about those too. Lean into that. Lean into this part of yourself that really already knows how to get yourself to a point where you find yourself happier, and, to help you release some of the almost tension or aggravation that you're feeling in your heart. Then we have the Two of Swords in its upright position. Okay, if this last card's an upright card, I'm gonna call my deck out because normally I don't have all uprights. So the Two of Swords is all about you needing to make a decision. And the decision doesn't necessarily have to be path A or path B like I typically talk about with this card, because what I'm feeling this decision is actually a bit more complex. And it's one of those things where you need to make the choice. Are you going to be the new version of yourself, this new identity that you've been working so hard to be? Or are you going to stay and keep one foot in the old identity that's no longer serving you? And you're like, Kirsten, how am I supposed to know what you're even talking about? Okay, hear me out. Defense mechanisms. The first message Shadow came across and said was that we need to drop those defense mechanisms. And that yes, you're going through resilience, and yes, that's coming to an end. And then I have the High Priestess over here saying that we need to go internal and listen to our intuition, and that we need to express ourselves. Okay? Also, when I got the High Priestess, I talked about a detour. Not a pivot, but a detour. All these things are things that you need to allow yourself to experience, to do, in order to be the version of you that is already succeeding in whatever it is that you're trying to change, whatever it is that you're trying to become, whatever it is that you're working towards. And so you have the option of, saying, you know what, I'm going to continue to do this, I'm going to continue to succeed, I'm going to continue to be me, no matter what, I have to let go of. Or you can be wishy-washy and be like, well, I don't know, maybe the old ways were working for me, maybe I can settle, maybe I'm okay with the way things are. Typically, like I said, the Two of Swords represents the fact that you need to choose A or B as an option, but this isn't that necessarily. It's about your mindset, it's about your mentality, and it's about you choosing who you want to be. And that's what you need to make a decision on. Okay, all uprights today. That is so rare, to be honest. And then we have Temperance in its upright position. So this is you applying alchemy. This is you integrating what it is that you are doing into your real life. So my obvious examples for this is like when you have a recipe. It's cool to have the greatest recipe ever for cheesecake. We're gonna make the best cheesecake that's gonna have no crack in the center and it's gonna be amazing. Cool. It doesn't matter that you have this recipe until you actually make the cheesecake. Or like if you're in nursing school, you can learn all that you need to learn about how to help people from a book. But none of that knowledge matters until you apply it to a patient. So Temperance is coming in here and saying that it's time to start doing, it's time to start creating, it's time to start integrating. When I talk about alchemy, alchemy isn't some mystical woo-woo thing. It's literally bringing the knowledge that you know into your life now, currently. So you're being asked to alchemize. You're being asked to, start doing, to start acting as if, to start being who it is that you are, trying to be. Stop trying to be that person and just start being that person. Just start being that version of you, whatever that looks like. And I know that Shadow's coming here and giving you a difficult message because what we're talking about is so much easier said than done. It is. But understand too that this is what you need to hear right now in order for you to get to the next phase. I've had this message come at me so many times, and every time I was mad or aggravated about the message. But when I let go and I released my stubbornness, my defense mechanisms, I found that the truth was there and that I was able to find a slight detour or a path I didn't see or recognize and able to move forward. So I'm not coming at you and telling you this because I think this is easy or that, that anyone can do this. This isn't something that just anyone can do. But I know you can do it because you're the one that has started this process and you've already done it before, and I know you can do it again. Now I want to ask Shadow what it is that we can do to help us release the outdated defense mechanisms, to help us step fully into this path that is us being the success that we are trying to be, the version of us that we're working to be, and just step into that power, step into that energy, and to alchemize and integrate everything that we know into the present moment. That felt like it was a pull, but there was nothing there. One more card. Okay. Blessings. Blessings are gifts from the universe. Receive and share them. So every time I get this card, it's more of a reminder about receiving. Because it's real easy to give. We love giving to people, but to actually receive, a lot of times we shut those blessings down because it's like, oh no, I don't need your help. Thank you though. But really that help is what could have helped transform your process and made this so much quicker. But because you decided that you were going to do it on your own, you prolonged the process. Receiving is what makes your life easier, and it's what helps you get to the next phase. So when we get the blessings card and we realize that blessings are a gift from the universe, receive them and share them, it's one of those things that as you receive something, you're already sharing it. And you're allowing other people to help you in a way that you love to help them. So allow the blessings that come into your life, allow them to be there and accept them for what they are. Again, probably dropping those defense mechanisms that tell you that you have to do it all by yourself. Compassion. Embrace others' differences, accept your own imperfections. This one's huge. And I love how it says accept your own imperfections because it's real easy to accept other people's differences. It's real easy to love people in spite of their flaws. It's not so easy to love us in spite of our flaws. And it's one of those where the more that you are willing to accept your own imperfections, the more that you just see them as part of who you are, the easier you are on yourself, and the less you feel necessary to hide them. You're just honest about it and you work with it. You trying to hide your flaws is you trying to deny part of who you are. You accepting your imperfections, you accepting those parts of you, is you saying, hey, this isn't my strong suit. I'm willing to work on it, but can you help me with this? Love. Love is everywhere. Open your heart to feel it. So this card is a constant reminder that, again, there is love everywhere. And I'm not talking about romantic or intimate love. I'm just talking about love. You are constantly being loved by the sun. It is constantly providing you warmth. There is constantly oxygen in the air. The trees are constantly creating oxygen for us. Love. There's animals. There's just so much love. And you yourself are full of love too. Whether you choose to utilize and lean into or not is up to you. Look at all the love that you have. Look at the abundance that you have. And you're going to be like, Kirsten, right now, I'm not feeling very abundant. I get it. But look at what you do have. Look at the resources, the tools, the energy, the life that you're living. You have an abundance of something that is full of love. You are full of love. And you need to allow yourself to open up to receive, back to this blessings where you need to receive. Defense mechanisms, those bounce love away. They don't let love through. They literally are a barrier between you and love. So back to like letting go of those defense mechanisms, allow yourself to receive love and allow yourself to give love. And again, love yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Insight. Insight is the fruit of wisdom. Keep a learning attitude. This card really wraps up really well what we've been talking about, because it's one of those where you need to go internal and you need to have your own shift in perspective, and you need to understand what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. And remember that this is a message from your shadow. Your shadow is the one that's asking you to be compassionate, to love yourself and others, to receive blessings. Because your shadow knows that it's your natural, just go-to to say, nope, that's okay. Thank you, though. I'm good. Nope, I can handle this. I got this. Nope, you know what? I don't, nope, thank you. I'm good. Like, that is your natural go-to. So, insight. Use the insight that you have, that you're gaining from this reading and that you've gotten about yourself. And if you haven't gotten anything, meditate. Meditate or journal. Allow yourself to learn about yourself and see what it is that you can do, what it is that you can grow from, so that way you can find peace and harmony moving forward. Because you deserve peace and harmony. Everyone deserves peace and harmony. But the society and the way that we live now, we have to unlearn in order to get that, to gain that. So understand that part of the learning process is unlearning things that don't serve us anymore. Unlearning the things that are outdated and that we need to let go of. Now I just want to ask Shadow for some encouragement to help us, get through this tough time, to help us finish to the end, to help us understand what it is that we need to let go of, what it is that we need to put down, and just give us, a bit more understanding of what we're doing that's holding us back. All right. Stay present. That's where life happens. Another one of those things that, yes, it's easier said than done, but it's also really important, because it's real easy to get, stuck into the past about all the things that you didn't do or that you could have done. And it's real easy to focus on the future and to dream about the future that you want to have. But the present and the mundane is where the magic happens. The moment of now. The moment that you have the ability to be and do what it is that you need to do to be that version of yourself that you already want to be. And it's one of those things where if you stay present, if you're in the now, then you're able to make the changes that you need to make. But if your brain's focusing on the past or your brain's focusing on the future, you're probably just going to go on autopilot. And, when our brain goes on autopilot, nothing really changes. Never forget how resilient you are. You always bounce back. That is the second card that we got about resilience here. So whoever you are a powerhouse. You are so strong and you are able to overcome so many things. We've already overcome so many things, and you need to give yourself credit for that. But again, it's one of those things where it's like the things that used to work for you no longer are necessary. But you already know how to bounce back. You already know how to be who you are. So just remember that you are resilient and that whatever happens, you'll bounce back, and you'll bounce back like almost tenfold and saying, you know what, I got this and I can handle it. Remember that strength. Let your feelings out, all of them, even the ones that scare you. So this one's important because this is that reminder that yes, the things that, were holding you back, the things that are keeping you in place, they need, your feelings, they need to be true about them. They need to come out. They need to be heard. It's that whole, you need to love, be open to love. It's that compassion, accepting your own imperfections. If you need to journal, if you need to, talk to somebody, if you don't have anyone and you just want to talk to a stuffed animal, your cat or your dog, do it. If you know if you need to go in your car and scream and just let your frustrations out, or scream into a pillow, but that's never actually felt well for me. If you need to cry, I cry in the shower all the time. It's like where you get the best crying session, because the steam helps with the, with the headache that typically comes with crying. Allow yourself to release your emotions, because holding everything in is just extra weight that is holding you down, and you need to let go of that. Guilt is a normal feeling. Just breathe it in and let it go. So there's something about you being who you are, working on this, being you completely, that has you feeling guilty about things. And I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I understand it. Because when we make changes to our personality, when we make changes for our betterment, when we become someone different, people often like to say, well, you're just not you anymore. And you feel like you're distancing yourself. You feel like, you're not the people, that you're letting people down because you're not acting the way that they want you to act. You're acting the way that you want to act. Here's the thing about guilt. Guilt is just evidence that you care. You wouldn't feel guilty if you didn't care. So instead of focusing on the fact that you feel guilty about this, just remember that it's a reminder that yes, I care, but I care more about myself, and I need to take care of myself first. Think about it this way. If you've ever taken a pet to the vet, you know how much they hate the vet, how uncomfortable they are when they're having things done to them. Even if you have a dog that loves to go to the vet because they love people, but as soon as anything starts to happen, they get nervous, and we feel guilty about it, but we know it's for their betterment. It's the same thing. You know that what you're going through is for your betterment, and you know that it's causing discomfort to other people. But at the same time, you have to do what's right for you. So just go with it. Just allow yourself to breathe it in and let it go, because it's honestly part of the process. And if you have any questions, or if you want more information on how to work with your shadow, there's a link in the description below. I do one-on-one coaching for, shadow work, and I do have shadow readings. But this is your reading, and I hope that it has given you some clarity and understanding, because what you're going through, you're almost there. You're almost to the end. You got this, and you can do this. I 100% believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself and trust that things are working in your favor. But remember and allow yourself to receive. Be open to receiving, and I feel like the path will be a lot smoother. This is all I have for you today. I wish you the best of luck. I love you so much. Bye-bye.